good morning, sewing friends. So today I want to come to talk to you about a couple pairs of pants from one of my favorite French designers, Ready to Sew. The first pair is the Pio pant, P-I-O. These pants I have made in a cream twill or cream cotton, heavyweight cotton. They feature a full elastic waist. There's side seams here in the front, a little curved, angled, deep pocket, back patch pockets, and the fun carrot shape pant. Now these are almost a little barrel, you can see, almost a little bit of a shape down here, but definitely a carrot shape. I have them turned up at the bottom here. They're great if you want to roll them and wear them with sneakers, which is typically how I'll wear them, or with booties, ankle booties, but they are very comfortable. They're a loose fit. I made 0 changes to this pattern. I literally sewed it and put them on. This was a test fabric. I love them. I'm going to make a whole bunch more. This pant is a little different, and they have 2 different styles of this kind of pant, and I'm going to go ahead and show you this one, and then I'll put the other one up so you can see it. This is called the pleat pant, and like these, they have a full elastic waist. They have this really clever folded over panel in the front that is actually stitched down to the leg, in the inner leg seam here. These are a cropped, slightly cropped, wide leg pant with a full elastic waist, back patch pockets, and I made this in a very lightweight black cotton. So almost like a cotton lawn, if you will. These are very lightweight, and I love these for summer. They also have a back pleat. You can't really see it here, but there is a back pleat here in the back of the pants for shaping. There's no pleats in the front. They're pleatless in the front. Well, except for the giant pleat right here. They have no pockets, but they do have a version that has the same curve, but it's a lower curve in the front, and there's a pocket in it, which is kind of clever. So anyway, that is the pleat pant by Ready to Sew, and I really love these, especially I made these for the summer. It's a great pair of black pants that they're super lightweight that I can wear. These are cropped and wide. They have a different version that's a narrow leg that is a full traditional Thai fisherman wrap pant, which is really nice. And I definitely would check that out if you like a skinnier pant or a pant that really tapers to the ankle. But both of these are elastic waist. They're super comfortable, and I wanted these rather than having to tie and untie, to get in and out of the other pants. So that was the reason why I chose this particular version. So these are the pleat, these are the Pio, and then there's another top and dress, which I'm going to put up here, called the Josette. And as you can see from the Josette, it's a cut-on cap sleeve, and it has this fun little shape that runs all the way around the garment. And it's in a cute, not quite cropped, but mid-length t-shirt style. And then it also comes in a knee-length dress. So that is definitely on my must-sew list for this spring. And in the designer's version, she has it in a tie-dye fabric. She likes to dye and repurpose a lot of fabrics. She's based in the south of France. I would say her style or her brand ethos is very sustainable, so she uses a lot of reclaimed textiles, sheets, that sort of thing that she's over-dyed, which you'll see in a lot of her garments, and often over-dyed with natural dyes, which you'll see a lot in her garments. So in her samples. So if that's something that appeals to you, you can definitely check it out. I don't know if she has any specific dyeing recommendations, but there's a lot of books on natural dyeing if you want to check it out. But I definitely love the look of the Josette top when it coordinates with this pair of pants and these pair of pants for summer, and I'm definitely going to make the dress version as well. It also lends itself to some scrapping because you do have the smaller upper panel on the top and the slightly half panel on the back, and then the longer front and back out of a larger length of fabric. So these two patterns are just one of a whole line of patterns from this particular designer, who has a really wonderful collection of some great stuff. So if you're looking for something that's a little different, that would be the way to go. Now, one of the other French design companies that my local fabric store is carrying is Maison Fauve. I believe that's how you pronounce that. And this one is definitely going to be more of your, what I would like to call Parisian French girl look. This has much more fitted silhouettes, although they have certainly a lot of casual fun pants and skirts, but they also have a lot of things that are very well designed with a lot of wonderful details. So I'm going to come forward and show you. This is the Chelsea blouse. This is going to be pretty soonly up. I'm still finishing up a capelet, but this is pretty soon up on my sewing list here. And as you can see, it's got a lot of really wonderful details with those pleats and a seam in the front and an open keyhole neck and cuffs at the bottom here. So definitely a really, really... So the Maison Fauvet line, which I have it from my local fabric store, she imported them. So it's seamsfabric.com. If you want to check it out, they'll have them online. In fact, I think they already do. There's a couple in there that I really love. There's a pair of joggers that have a ruffled waistband, lots of pockets and seaming details, some really fun cuff and ankle ties. There is a kimono style jacket with like kind of an offset band in the front and deep pockets. There are just a bunch of really wonderful patterns in this line. And when you start looking at designers from other countries, you really begin to get a wider variety of things than you might find in the United States. So there's another international designer, those of you have heard of it, called Paper Theory, and I'll put up the patterns that I bought. I bought the Kaya swimsuit. So Kaya, and I'll put it up here in the corner, has a crossed in the front, loop at the top, and then it comes in a one piece, so it's a kind of, you can color block it like Harlequin. It has a color blocked one piece swimsuit, a high waisted bikini, two piece, a low waisted bikini if you want that. I also bought, there's a dress that I bought as well. That one is similar in that it has a high tie neck, but there's also a U-shaped neck version and one with a low U-shaped back with a tie. So those are going to be some wonderful patterns for me to sew for summer. And as I've talked about many times, I have a lot of sewing patterns and I have a lot of fabric, but I have a lot of sewing patterns. And so one of my goals this year is to stop acquiring so many patterns, although I did buy a couple more yesterday. From designer from Daisy Chain Patterns. I bought a couple of vest patterns and a quilted jacket pattern. So I really am going to try to slow my roll on buying patterns. I do tend to buy a lot of digital ones, so I'm not storing paper. I only print them when I'm using them. And then of course I keep the pattern because I've printed in my size and I can make it again. So I'm really going to try and slow my roll this year on acquiring patterns. Just because I do have a lot of them that I really want to sew. These are two of them that I really like that I have sewn that I will definitely be sewing again for spring and summer. I picked up, while I was at my local fabric store, I picked up this beautiful blush colored, this is their Essex, which is linen and cotton. So there's two, there's like Essex and then there's another one that I forget, Brussels washer. And that one's rayon and linen, but this is the linen and the cotton version. And as you can see, I got this lovely blush color that I really like that I'm going to be making a pair of pants out of. So I don't know if it'll be these pants or those pants or a different pair of pants, but definitely an elastic waist, fun, casual summer pant. That I'm going to be making this year. So those are on my must sew list as well. So my international designers, this is my international design feature of things that I have sewn, include Ready to Sew, Paper Theory, or Paper Cuts, sorry, Paper Cuts, not Paper Theory, Paper Cuts. And if you order their printed patterns, their envelopes are spectacularly beautiful. They're actually die cut. It's just really wonderful. I did not order the printed version because they are from New Zealand and I didn't want to pay for shipping from New Zealand and my local fabric store did not carry them. So Maison Fauvet, Ready to Sew is digital. Maison Fauvet, I got at Seams Fabric. Paper Cuts I bought digitally, but if you can find them in printed copies, their envelopes are really beautiful. And then also designers, international designers that I have been looking at and sewing and purchased I think it really broadens your view of sewing. Megan Nielsen is another one. And I've been sewing Megan Nielsen since she lived in the United States when her husband was going to college here, graduate school in here. She used to design some sewing patterns for maternity and nursing. And I've been a big fan of Megan Nielsen now for, well, it's got to be 17 years because my oldest is 17 years old. So I've been a big fan of Megan Nielsen, so I have a number of Megan Nielsen patterns. So I think the international designers bring to them a different design ethos. They bring to the table oftentimes a broader size range. Interestingly enough, a broader size range. So for those of you who are sewing in the higher end of the size range or the lower end of the size range, you're going to get a really broad spectrum. They also just bring a different style. So I'll post all of the pictures up here as I go. I'll include reviews of the ones I have sewn, which include this and the pleat and a couple of others that I have already sewn. I'm also going to include some things that I'm planning on sewing for spring, so you'll have a few of those listed, and you'll find all of that at sewparadise.com. So this is my International Designer Roundup. For those of you who are looking for more international patterns and where to find them, I really love the Fold line. If you have not ever followed them, they sell indie sewing patterns online, mostly to people in the UK. So if you're going to be buying, you would either be buying digital patterns from them rather than having them shipped from the UK. But they do review a lot of international designers, which I really love because you might not be that familiar with them. They've also reviewed one of my clients, Ann Normandy Patterns. They've reviewed her patterns as well, and I think it's just really nice to see a lot of designers around the world. The only design, well, I shouldn't say the only, I would really love to find some Italian sewing pattern designers. So if you know of any, and provided they have English instructions, because my Italian is not that good, if you know of anybody, and I can certainly use Google Translate, please drop a comment below and I will definitely buy and check out their patterns and give a review, because I would love to find some Italian designers. I know that they're out there. I know like these young French designers and these young Spanish designers and these young designers from Australia and New Zealand have lines. I know that there are young designers in Italy that are also doing the same thing. So I would really, really love to see them. So if you've got some, drop a comment for me. Again, as always, check out the blog post at sewparadise.com. Give me your feedback and let me know what international designers you like to sew.